JPMorgan CEO Jamie Dimon is recovering this morning after emergency heart surgery yesterday. Wilfred is here. He joins us on set. And the good news is he's alert. He was awake. He's recovering from it.
Absolutely right, Becky. As you said, JPMorgan Chairman and CEO Jamie Dimon underwent successful emergency heart surgery yesterday to repair an acute aortic dissection. In an internal message to employees, co-presidents and co-COOs Gordon Smith and Daniel Pinto wrote, quote, "The good news is that it was caught early and the surgery was successful. He's awake, alert and recovering well." This came on suddenly yesterday morning and clearly could have been much worse. It's not the first health scare for Dimon, who's 63 and due to turn 64 next week. He was diagnosed with throat cancer in 2014, and while he underwent 8 weeks of chemotherapy, during which time he still led the New York bank. He made a full recovery from that. This time, lead independent director Lee Raymond said, quote, "Our board has been fully briefed on these developments and has asked Daniel and Gordon to lead the company during this period as Jamie recuperates." Bottom line, of course, thankfully that recuperation appears to be going well. Quick check-in on the share price this morning, down 3.5%, again, clearly because of the yields you just referenced, Andrew.
Exactly.
Down 1% or so more than the bank's index this morning.
As we said earlier, we wish him a very speedy recovery. He is a longtime friend of Squawk. Squawk watcher, often watches us in the morning and sometimes even emails us during the show. As I said before, I hope he's not watching right now. I hope he's just recovering. Invariably, there are going to be questions about what's going to happen during this period as he does recover, how long that is anticipated. And as you push out that storyline, people are going to start to talk about succession.
Yeah, listen, I think the board already has, anyway, as we know, if Jamie is hit by a bust plan. Thankfully, that plan is not going into action today, but the board already knows who the leader would be if that happened today, thankfully not happening. And that, we also know, would be one of Daniel Pinto or Gordon Smith, who are 57 Daniel Pinto, 62 Gordon Smith, respectively. Smith leads Chase, the
and you think
bank.
you think it's either one of them would take over the company? I only say that because people have talked about Marion Lake, who runs the consumer business, used to be the CFO. People talk about Jennifer Pipscott, who's the current CFO of the company now.
Yeah, so I think there's two groups. I think if it's today, which it won't be, it's either one of those two. Gordon leads the consumer bank. Daniel Pinto leads the investment bank. They were elevated, the two of them, to presidents and COO, a new rank 2 years ago, to sort of earmark them out in terms of that point. But if you go further down the line and Dimon finishes more of the 5 years he wants to finish, then more come into play. Chief among them, Marianne Lake, who was formerly CFO, now heads consumer lending. Jen Pipsack, who switched roles respectively with Marianne Lake, and Mary Erdos as well, who's head of the asset management. Now they're all a little bit younger, and you just have that simple maths of if things go on a bit longer, then Daniel and Gordon themselves, over 60 and perhaps not the ideal choices if it's further away.
Well, I hope it's further away for Jamie's sake.